We love music. You are locked into Six Towns Radio.
Chills Bar, Beersley, sponsors of Port Vale content on Six Towns Radio.
Chris Lyons, let's talk about the MK Dons game first of all, because you weren't featuring your former club. Yeah. It was a great win, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a strange game to watch. It was quite sort of open, and obviously both teams were sort of a bit empty of players. Mm-hmm. I didn't even really recognise the MK team hardly. It was 3 or 4 lads that played last season. So they've obviously been weakened, and we had a few changes, but obviously we got the win, which was important. And I don't like watching, but it was quite an enjoyable game to watch. It was quite end to end, and obviously good for us to get the win.
Seeing Alan Smith playing at centre back was quite surreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I played with him obviously last season. He's a top lad, and he's obviously been a excellent Premiership player over the years. He's just unfortunate to get a bad injury when he was at Newcastle at the time. So he struggles to play sort of week in, week out now. But I don't know where that came from, because he didn't ever play there when I was there. But obviously they're that short of numbers. He was sort of the main person they could put back there. Yeah, and
unfortunate for Tom Pope as well, getting out in such a way. And there's only a couple of games left, but he would like to have played to the end.
Yeah, I think he was gutted obviously to miss the Rotherham game in particular against his old team and that. Something that I've sort of had to do this season, missing a couple of games that I've really wanted to play in. But he's had a good season. Obviously he's got us some goals, and but obviously he's under contract. He'll be here next season, I'm guessing, and he can crack on again.
Yeah, Rotherham on Monday, it was an unfortunate loss really. Yeah, they lost a man sent off, and I think they'll give him a good game.
Yeah, we went up there with nothing to lose. I said that, to be fair. We had 14 or 15 players in the squad. We obviously Duff's got injured as well, so the fact that we obviously kept them at bay for so long, and then they obviously nicked a goal in, I think it was the 80th minute, but they're top scorers in I think in pretty much the whole league, so it was one of them where if we could have nicked a 0-0 there, you'd be very happy, but it's all kind of irrelevant, because I think Peterborough obviously won anyway. So
yeah, of course, that was the final playoff position, and I suppose that going in there a couple of weeks ago, points were gained here, there, and everywhere. You could have been in a better position, but that's gone now. You got Sheffield United tomorrow night, Friday night. Of course, they started off the season down the bottom, and they've had a good run with Cloughie.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I don't really understand why they were down there in the first place. I think I said that when we played them last time, but obviously they brought in a decent manager, and he's done a great job. And I think if you look at possibly favourites for next season for this league, they've got to be up there. I said last season Brentford were going to be up there this year, and I was right. So yeah. I'm predicting Sheffield to probably be there or thereabouts next season. They got plenty of money to play with. They got a good fan base, nice stadium, and if they can build on how they finish this season, they'll be right up there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the teams that are coming down possibly from the Championship, and the teams that are coming up from League 2. There's not a Wolves in there. No. There's not a big team really in there. I know obviously they'll have a bit more pedigree in the ranks playing in the Championship, some of these teams, but Wolves were a big team to come down.
Yeah, they were, yeah, and I think, to be fair, year after year there's sort of been less and less bigger teams in the league. When I was at Sheff Wednesday, there was us, Charlton, Sheffield United, Huddersfield. There was a lot of big teams in the league, and if you go back maybe 4 or 5 years, when the Swanseas and Norwich and Southampton, people like that, the league is actually getting weaker, but that's just due to the fact that all the top teams are eventually finding their way up to where they belong. And it's nice to have a team like Wolves in this league, and Sheffield United, because it's a good ground to go to. You've got Preston, which is a decent big club. It's nice to, so I won't complain if a lot of them stay in this league, because it's always nice to go to a big stadium.
Yeah, look at the end of the season for Port Vale, quite a lot of players, including yourself, not in contracts at the end of the season. Is that something that you're looking at?
Not really, no. I mean, nothing's really been mentioned, I don't think, to anyone, which obviously, that's up to the club to deal with. It's a strange one. It's a situation I've never found myself in before. But I'm not panicking. I'll be fine, and whatever happens. I'm quite happy to just finish off these 2 games and just see what happens. Really, with summer, just relax, and I don't tend to worry about things like that. I just let whatever happens take its course, and like I say, it's one of those situations where it's sort of a bit of a waiting game, but obviously the club are dealing with it however they want to deal with it. Same situation with the gaffer, so it's one of them. We haven't heard anything, and whether we will, I don't know.
Well, besides that, have you enjoyed your season here at Port Vale, besides the things off the field? Yeah,
I've loved it. Yeah, it's been pretty much what I set out to do when I signed from Sheff Wed. Yeah, it was a tough decision leaving such a big club like that. It was, but I'm one of those players that does, I want to play week in, week out, and for some reason at that point it wasn't quite looking like that. For some reasons I still saw myself as one of the first choice midfielders there, but it wasn't quite working out, so I struck up a deal with them to come here, and obviously I came here with the intention of playing, making sure I was 100% fit again, and just getting some games and enjoying myself. And especially the first half of the season when we were doing so well, it was really enjoyable. We had a good team that sort of played week in, week out. We were winning a lot of games, beating a lot of the best teams. It's maybe just a shame that maybe the midpoint of the season, that was the time when people should have been signing new contracts, and we could have really pushed on. But like I say, that's up to the club. That's not up to us. Us as players have carried on, and I think if you look at the league table now, we've had a phenomenal season with what we've had to work with against the kind of wages that the teams around us are producing. We've done brilliant, and I don't think the lads deserve enough credit. We've had a great season, really. Yeah,
well, hopefully the fans will turn up on Friday night and create a good atmosphere to end the season at home.
Yeah, they should. I can't imagine. I'm just a positive person anyway, but I just can't imagine why there would be anything negative to say about the season. It's we 8th in the league. It's an unbelievable effort with, like I say, with the finances, or with the people we've had to use. Like you look at some of the squads in this league, the wages they're playing, the players they've got in their teams. We've had a great season, like I say, especially the first half, when we were sort of really close to them playoffs, and we were beating some of the best teams in the league, and we were proving that on our day, we could beat anyone. So yeah, I look forward. It's always the last home game's always good, but for us to have such a great season in our first one in this league, obviously, hopefully the fans turn up and enjoy it, and hopefully, we get a good clap at the end.